Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
And a very good morning, everyone. Welcome along to Chasing Winners, big weekend of greyhound racing. And we return, of course, on Saturday night to Cannington. Long overdue. Looking forward to getting back. I had a look at the track earlier in the week and it looks magnificent. And looking forward to this big program there on Saturday night. And there will be fireworks after the last to bring in the new track. As I say, very good morning to David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw. How are you, boys?
Really well, thank you, Pete. G'day, Jesse.
Shorty, Pete, always a pleasure to be here.
Great to have Cannington back, as you've alluded to, Pete. Really exciting. It's been a little wait. I think everyone in the industry is just really keen to see headquarters back up and firing, and also just a huge congratulations to the industry and everyone concerned, celebrating with the anniversary cup heats, and of course yesterday, the 12th of December, right back in 1974, Pete, is when it all got going here in Western Australia.
And a good night last night to celebrate it as well, because in Victoria we had the WA Star take out the laurels.
Racing, Miss Envy jumped okay, but then bumped straight into Poor Ticker, and winning the start was Sprightly Cian. She goes through the lead. Coming through to second now was Miss Envy. She charged into second ahead of Marrakesh. Then came Poor Ticker. Next in the field was really Reality Best, and then came Poor Lulu, and a long gap then to Rosa Marie at the rear. Sprightly Cian in front, but Miss Envy closes in very quickly, goes through along the inside, and she is a queen, all right. Miss Envy does it. She won by 4 lengths.
Yeah, brilliant win, Shorty. She had to, she cut in half basically at the start, and she was very lucky to get through that first corner. Once she settled in second, she was able to take control of the race, and a brilliant training performance by Crystal and Steve Shinners for her to win and continue on her winning way.
Yeah, spot on. Sometimes these big races, you can just roll to the top and sort of have it your own way, but I thought it was a really brave effort from Miss Envy, chopped up in the early stages, but still able to maintain momentum and really drive home strong to the line. It was a most impressive performance, and it really does underpin her recent form, to be honest with you, Pete, because everywhere that she's been, she's continued to perform at the top level. That overall record now 14-6 from 21, and she's taken a show on the road. We were there on $1 Million Chase Night, saw her take out the consolation there, defeating Power and Glory in stunning fashion. Of course, she was magnificent in running third in the Melbourne Cup final, and then comes out and takes out the laurels. So she was speaking to Brownie yesterday. The last bitch to take out the national sprint title and laurels in the same year was the great Sandy's me mum, and how fitting that she was named the number 1 sprinter over 50 years of greyhound racing here in WA, and another dog turns up and emulates those deeds in Miss Envy.
And she's run some good times as well, Jesse. Surprising that maybe she didn't pick up that last slot available in the Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm sure Connections would be disappointed, but it's always hard in an interstate race to get an interstate chaser in. So you'd think they'd be looking at the local product first, but it's hard to knock her resume. She's probably going to be favourite for Greyhound of the Year between her and Uncle Tommy, you would think, at this stage, but it's probably disappointing to miss out on a slot considering what she has done on the Eastern Seaboard too.
It's going to make it interesting because now the panel will have to actually make a decision this year. Shorty, in recent years, it's been fairly well cut and dried as we go into the decision making, but this year we might have to go through a couple more bottles of red wine or C&Cs.
We have a dead heat.
Look, no. I think it's there's always a decision made. It's going to be challenged. I'm not going to lie to you. I think both dogs to have multiple sort of big time feature race winners both on the table. It speaks volumes for the quality of chasers here in WA at the moment, but it's not going to make it an easy decision, that's for sure.
Yep, no worries. All right, let's get into this Mandurah program tonight. We start off with a 400-metre novice, and the favourite is with number 1, Infrared Gem at $2.80, Patterson Road at $2.90. Saw Jamie Marsh there on Wednesday. I said you've got another beaten favourite home, and then he quickly got Tab Touch up to show me that the other greyhound had been well supported and it didn't start favourite.
Cheeky work. Look, this is a dog that runs a lot of placings, and just from my perspective, I'm no knock on the dog. I'd love to own it, but it's from a punting perspective. You always have to be wary about greyhounds that put together really significant records of placings without getting the job done, and it's now got the career record of 15 for 2 wins, but a further 10 placings, and a lot of those starts it's gone around a fairly trim quote. So I'm happy enough to use it as a rover for my novelties and the like, but I don't have it on top here. I've gone with number 5 in Kramer's King, who I thought was a really impressive effort last time out from a wide draw, 22.64. The time was really good leading throughout. The dog won over the longer trip of 488, only 3 back. So it'll be nice and strong to the line, and that might be where the door opens up for the dog to get the cash. Infrared Gem, as I've touched on, great roving banker. It's a must for place players. Number 8, I'm going to throw in for 3rd in Zipping Cagney. This is a dog we threw out at bigger odds last time out, and it ran in 3rd position in the same race behind Kramer's King and also Infrared Gem last time out. So got the same 3 running 1, 2, 3 again in this race. And number 4, Patterson Road's never too far from the action, 5-1-8-4.
I'll go 4-1-8-5 with 4 Patterson Road on top. I thought the 488 metre efforts have been good. Drops back down to provincial class over the 400 metres, should suit. And he's pretty quick out early. So I'll go with Patterson Road on top. I think if Infrared Gem leads, Patterson Road will sit on her and run her down. I've got Infrared Gem for 2nd. For 3rd, number 8 in Kramer's King, and for number 5 Kramer's King, and 4th 8. So 4, 1, 5 and 8.
He has to train a winner sooner or later, Jamie, so I think Infrared Gem can start it off tonight. Number 1 from 5 Kramer's King, 4 Patterson Road and 7 Biggest Fan, 1, 5, 4, 7. Race number 1. Race number 2 over the 488 metres. The favourite here is number 7 Little Bougie at $2.50. A greyhound has been chasing consistently for Margaret Heppel and has been placed from a wide draw. I'm going that way with 7 on top from number 4 Our Girl Jess, who was a nice second 2 starts back and then found trouble last week. Number 1 for 3rd Wild Mood, and 6 in West on Onyx, 7, 4, 1, 6. Shorty?
Pretty similar, 7, 4, 6, 8 for me. 7 on top Little Bougie. Came from this draw 3 back when running 27.68. Copped a check in the run. That probably equates to around a 27.6 run here. If it can reproduce that, will be the dog to beat. From number 4, Our Girl Jess, who's certainly capable. Placed 2 of its last 4. Number 6 in West on Onyx. Nice winner 3 back. And number 8, Sassy Lad, was a cheeky run at a big price last week. 7, 4, 6, 8. I'll
go 7, 4, 1, 8 with 7 Little Bougie on top. Drop back down to provincial class is key here. From 4, Our Girl Jess, 1 Wild Mood, and for 4th 8, Sassy Lad, 7, 4, 1, 8, race 2.
Before we go to race number 3, Samara Pickett has sent through the scratchings and just the reserves are out tonight. So emergencies out or reserves out of races 1, 3 and also 6. They're the scratchings for tonight's program. Thanks to Samara for sending that through. Let's go to race number 3. Go Get 'em Nelly. Jessie is the favourite here at $2.50.
That's the way I've gone. 2, 3, 5, 8, 2. Go Get 'em Nelly on top. She was good at Northam in 29.87. Former provincial class has been solid. Has a couple of 22.5 and 22.4 runs on the board. If she can repeat some of those efforts, I think she's going to be pretty hard to beat. From number 3 in Farmer Russell, this greyhound is struggling for form a little bit, but his best is pretty good here. He's got a decent record over the trip, 6 starts for 2 wins and 2 minors. For 3rd, 5 Stu McFly, he was good in his last 2, and for 4th, I'll throw in 8 Big Frank Banner. I was really impressed with the 300 metre run, and he drops out of a grade 4 back to a grade 5. It won't take long for him to win one. 2, 3, 5, 8, race 3.
2, 3, 5 and 8 for Jessie. I've flipped it here, and I thought this was one of the better value bets on the program tonight. Stu McFly. I like this dog. Put it up on Greyhound Gold after its sub-17 run as its run of the week, and said just keep following this dog. It came out earlier on in the week and won a race in pretty impressive fashion. So it's on the back up here off that win on Monday night. I think this dog's got a really nice future. It's just working it out. It's been a bit of a work in progress, taken a while to get the hang of what racing's all about, but the last couple of wins, 16.95 over the shorter trip and then 22.54 where it just dropped on them late. I think this dog's putting it all together now, and at the each way odds, I note that it's 4 into 360 from when the market opened, so there's been good support for the dog. I think it'll run well, and happy to be with it just under the each way odds. From number 2, Go Get 'em Nelly. I thought they looked a really good Quinella in this race. Then number 3 in Farmer Russell, and 7, our girl Jupiter, who's always around the place. But thought one of the better value plays of the night, just under the $4 range, 5, Stu McFly, the clear danger 2, 5, 2, 3, 7.
Just same 4 numbers, Shorty, just slightly different. I'll go 2, 5, 3, 7. Our girl Jupiter at start 50 tonight, but I'll put Go Get 'em Nelly to go back to back. Now, let's go to race number 4, and this is the Bet Local Bet Tab Touch Dandelup Blazer at $6. The favourite Dandelup Opal at $2.50 from box number 1. She does look hard to beat, even though she was checked last start and slow away. She's starting to regain some form, I think, from box number 1, where she's got a good record. So 1 on top of 3. Go Seek Ariana, number 2. Sure Oliver, 5, Enjoyable. 1, 3, 2, 5 for me.
Shazam for me. 1 on top, Dandelup Opal got the inside draw to cash in on here. 3, Go Seek Ariana, runs plenty of placings. 2, Sure Oliver's got enough pace to put itself in a prominent position and be there. And 5, Enjoyable. Can nick a race like this if it was able to spear across and lead up with trouble behind. 1, 3, 2, 5.
I'll go 5, 3, 1, 8 with a bit of value here. Enjoyable on top. She was good second on 2 back at Northam in 29.68. First up over the 488, but a record over the 400 in the past has been pretty good. So 5 on top from 3, 1 and 8 in race number 4.
First leg of the quaddie, and favourite number 4, Curious George, a little bit soft, $2 out to 2.10. Sunset Nightjar, 2.80 into 2.65. I thought he was the way to go. Sunset Nightjar winning in his last 2. Shorty, which way are you going?
Yeah, good race. I'm going to... I like Dogs Fresh coming back over the shorter trips. Often they just spear to the top, and Curious George is the dog that fits the bill here. She put together an excellent record. The trains had her absolutely humming since coming across from New South Wales, worked her way right up to top grade, and she's really been a model of consistency. Vacant boxes inside certainly helps Curious Georgia here. I thought she'd spear to the top and from there be hard to run down. 5, Sunset Nightjar's a huge threat. Last 2 wins have been excellent. No surprise at all to see it camped on it and maybe be that little bit stronger late with that race fitness. 7, Sunset Ali. We've been with this dog the last 2 starts. Little bit different though tonight. It's right up in grade again, and it's also got a greyhound on its outside in Spider Venom, who granted not all that quick early, but certainly is one of the 3 key players for me. And 8, Spider Venom, 1, Maximum Carnage. You have to include both of them. Last week's run from Spider Venom was actually a real eye-catcher. This dog steamed to the line late in a good quality lineup as the outsider of the field, and it could well do something similar here tonight. 4, 5, 7, 8.
I'll go 5, 4, 7, 1 with 5, Sunset Nitro on top. His form's been excellent. He's got a good record over this trip. It's hard to tip against him. From 4, Curious Georgia, I think will be the leader. For 3rd, 7, Sunset Ali. And for 4th, 1, Maximum Carnage. 480, 8 back down to the 400 should suit. 5, 4, 7, 1, race 5.
I'll go 5, 7, 4 and 1 as well. Number 5, Sunset Nightjar, to make it 3 in a row for David Hobby. You're on Chasing Winners on TAB Radio Racing and Sport as we continue our look at tonight's meeting at Mandurah, and race number 6, Go Get 'em Tillies at $4.60. Motor City Rossi, $3.80. The favourite here, Jesse, in race number 6.
I'm going 1, 6, 3 and 2. I'll go with Go Get 'em Tilly on top, who's got a decent record at the trip. 7 starts for a win and 3 minors. Second last start at Northam was really good behind Surge's banner. Before then was a 29.68 winner over the longer trip at Northam. So 1, 6, 3 and 2 for second. 6, West on Boomer. He's running some cheeky races of late. His win 2 back was really good when defeating Bakes on Lakes. For third, 3, Aussie Gem. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2, Motor City Rossi. 1, 6, 3, 2, race 6.
Yeah, this is one of the more challenging races of the night. I didn't think you could put a line through pretty much any of them as a winning hope, which is certainly challenging. It's a leg of the quaddie, so it's a hint that I'll be going wide there. Anyway, I've landed numbers 2, 3, 4, 1. 2 on top, Motor City Rossi. Like the way this dog's been going for Ad Smithson. Pretty versatile type. Number 3, Aussie Gem, looks a great rover and place banker as always. It just never runs a bad race with that good early pace. 4, Artisan Artist in this grade of race is only a matter of time before it bobs up at a price, then didn't have much between 1 and 6. 1, Go Get 'em Tilly from the good draw, should be in the mix, and 6, West on Boomer, certainly recapturing a little bit of form. Last few runs have all been good. 2, 3, 4 and 1 for me, race number 6.
Unbeaten in 2 starts from box number 1, Go Get 'em Tilly, that gets me. So 1 on top from 3, Aussie Gem. Number 6, West on Boomer. 2, Motor City Rossi. 1, 3, 6, 2. Race number 6. Race number 7, and Sunset Pepe is the favourite at $2.50. I thought West on Booney was a reasonable run on returning last start. Shorty, I'm not sure what you thought. Got into a bit of trouble and still chased home well. I think he'll strip a lot fitter for that run, and I think he's the way to go. So 5 on top. 7, Another James has been chasing very well in good company. Number 1, Sunset Pepe, and 4, Fancy That Fred, 5, 7, 1, 4.
5, 7, 1 and 4 for Pete. I've gone with number 1. I made it a special here, Sunset Pepe. Just thought it was a sort of race where this dog from the draw should be able to land in a prominent position, and a couple of the dogs that are there in the race with pace do hang off the rail a little bit, so thought it would get a good chance to dig up, and if it can hold its position down on the rail, may well get its chance to zoom into the race. Sunset Pepe on top. From number 5, West on Booney, got obviously a massive opinion of this dog. When he does get right back to full race fitness, he's going to just be eating up fields like this, to be honest. May well do that tonight. Number 7, in Another James, really promising youngster, working its way through the classes. And number 2, West on Miley, has got a big motor on its night, 1, 5, 7, 2.
I'll go 4, 1, 5, 7. Pretty place heavy with Fancy That Fred. He's got good record over this trip. He won a heat last 2 starts ago when defeating Defender. Didn't have much luck in the Young Stars Classic final. So back down to graded company here in a 3-4. He's got a good record at the trip. He's quick out early, likes to use a bit of the track, but I think he should feature in the first 3. From 1, Sunset Pepe, 5, West on Booney, and 7, Another James. 4, 1, 5, 7, race 7.
Race number 8 on the program, and final leg of the quaddie. Peter Howell's trying to be funny with the Shorty, throwing in a 300-metre race for the final leg of the quaddie. Yes. Fernando Funds at 240, Esperance Ace at 350. I'm going with the favourite, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the 300-metre chases.
Is there a reason as to why they put him as a quaddie leg?
No. Not sure what they're doing there. As Pete alluded to, maybe it's a sense of humour thing. I'm not sure. What I would suggest, though, is that they've got a full field of 8, and there's a number of fields tonight that are pay 1 and 2 only. Yep. So that probably would explain why they've done that. I have gone with, in this race, number 2 and made it a special, Fernando Fun. Recent starts have been good and the last 2 starts that's come from this draw was a winner 5 back in 1711, and then last start from this draw again was a winner in 1706. Just think Esperance Ace in 3 can use a bit of the track. It should beat out Holloway's Flyer. So Fernando Fun's going to be first to the rail. In that capacity, it's likely to run somewhere between 1706 and 1711, and that should win this race. So gets all the ticks and should be awfully hard to beat. 2 on top from 3, Esperance Ace. Number 8, Impress Rolls. And then I didn't have much between 4, Turk's Dream, and 1, Holloway's Flyer. 2, 3, 8. And 4. I'll
go 2, 8, 3 and 1 with 2, Fernando Fun on top. He was good last week. He should be able to repeat the dose here. From number 8, Impress Rolls. The greyhound really enjoys box number 8. For 3rd, number 3 in Esperance Ace, and for 4th, 1, Holloway's Flyer. 2, 8, 3 and 1, race 8.
I've gone exactly the same way as Shorty. 2, 3, 8, 4, Fernando Fun on top in race number 8. To race number 9 on the program, San Cruz is the favourite here at $2.10. A greyhound with a good record from inside draws, and I think he can drop back to this distance and win. I've got him on top of number 4, Too Much Fun. For 3rd, number 6 in Silly Old Bear, You're Busted. 1, 4, 6, 7.
1, 4, 6 and 7 for Pete. Who you like in the ninth, Jesse?
I'll go 1, 6, 4 and 7. I'm with Sandcruiser on top, but really not with a lot of confidence. He was a 1688 winner in the past, but his form has just been spiralling downhill besides that win. For 2nd, number 6 in Silly Old Bear. For 3rd, 4, Too Much Fun. And for 4th, 7, You're Busted. 1, 6, 4, 7.
1, 6, 4 and 7. Yeah, I've landed on the 1, but this is a race that I'll be watching only tonight, to be honest with you. The Rove on 7, so potential play. You're Busted for sort of 2nd, 3rd and 4th. It runs a stack of placings and is likely to do so once again here. So I've gone 1, 4, 7 and 6. But yeah, happy enough to watch on there in the 9th.
And the last on tonight's program 10 event card, the favourite is with number 7, Surf the Sun at $2.65. You tipped Gary Nelson to train a winner early on the card. Can he have a double?
I don't think so. I was bitterly disappointed with this dog last week, Pete. We nailed our first 2 legs of our best bets last week, and the 3rd of the best bets was Surf the Sun, running for pretty significant sums of money at lead, and was run down late by 3/4 of a length. And yeah, it's fair to say I wasn't overly happy with the way that it folded up the last little bit. The overall time was still solid, 22.59, but I've once bitten, twice shy, as they say. I'm going with Silent Assassin to be stronger late here. Some of its recent work at Northam's been elite. 29.36, that win 4 back, that is absolutely scolding along. And then last time out was a winner again in 29.58. I just thought Silent Assassin would be camped on Surf the Sun and Bakes on Lakes and just be too strong for them late on the swoop. So 8 made it one of the best bets on the program, and note there's been good money for it early. From number 3, Bakes on Lakes, 7, Surf the Sun, and 4, Little Bit Warped, 8-3-7-4.
I'll go 8-7-3-6 with Silent Assassin on top. I thought it was really good last week when defeating Rapido Rhapsody Greyhound. We all have a pretty high opinion of. The 29.36 win was brilliant as well. So 8 on top. From 7, Surf the Sun. For third, 3, Bakes on Lakes, and for fourth, I'll throw in 6, West on Kaiser, 8-7-3-6, race 10.
I'll go 8-3-7-1 with Silent Assassin, so we all agree in the last. Let's head to Ryan Levitsky. He's about to join us. He'll be calling all the action for us tonight at Mandurah. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning, Pete. Yeah, it's a good race, that last one tonight.
Yeah, what are you tipping in the last?
I'm tipping Bakes on Lakes, but not much confidence. There's so much depth for a country 4-5.
Okay, your best tonight?
My best, I like race 2, number 7, Little Bougie. Race 7, number 1, Sunset Peppy. And the best bet of the night, race 8, number 2, Fernando Fun, boxed between a wide runner on the outside, a mad railer on the inside, and last start was very impressive. So I'd be standing out race 8, number 2, Fernando Fun in quaddies.
Okay, have you had a look at the... Have you done a quaddie for tonight?
No.
Okay. Have you had a look at the Cannington program?
I sure have, and it's great to have Cannington back. Really looking forward to race 4. I can see Uncle Tommy finding the lead and running a very quick time, but I can also see Bezecchi going past him. So race 4, number 8, Bezecchi. I'll make the best bet. $2.20 is probably about right. Race 10, number 4, Aston Nero, and race 11, number 4, Molotov Boy. I had a look at the market. I think Sky Manelli's a bit short in that last race at 175, so there's value outside of Sky Manelli. Race 4, number 8, race 10, number 4, race 11, number 4, and a quaddie. First leg, 1 and 2. Second leg, 2, 5, 6, 8. Third leg, standout 1, Sage to Neil. Fourth leg, 2, 5, 6, and there are 24 combinations.
Anything on Monday or Tuesday at this early stage?
Yeah, Tuesday, race 9, number 1, Sunset Oysters, just too good for them. Race 9, number 1 for David Hobby.
Good on you, mate. Good to have you back on the wireless. I look forward to catching up with your calls later on this evening.
Enjoy getting back to Cannington.
I will. Don't worry about that. I've been dreaming about it. Have a good day. Ryan Levitsky joining us on the program. And, just say I'm a little bit excited. It's like Christmas coming early, getting back to Cannington tomorrow. Anyway, more importantly, Shorty, your best in a quaddie, please.
Yes, best bets are race 7, number 1, Sunset Peppy. Race 8, number 2, Fernando Fun. Race 10, number 8, Silent Assassin. Quaddie-wise, 4, 5, 7, leg 1. Field in that second leg. In the third leg, I'm just going to take numbers 1, 5 and 7, and then in that final leg very keen on the prospects of number 2 Fernando Fun, so I'll take it 1 out there. So it'll be 4, 5, 7 field, 1, 5, 7, 2. That is 3 threes and 9, 8, $72 for a full unit, Pete.
Good work.
Race 2, number 7, Little Bougie. Race 5, number 5, Sunset Nitro. And place heavy, race 7, number 4, Fancy That Fred. For a quaddie, we'll go 4, 5, 7 the first leg. 1, 2, 3 the second leg, 1, 4, 5, 7 the third leg, bring it home with 2 and 8 there on Friday night, Pete.
Okay, let's go across to the first at Cannington. That's right, back at Cannington tomorrow night. And the first race gets underway a little bit earlier at 6:46. We have a short price favourite in Rapido Rhapsody at $1.85. A lot of these greyhounds have been trialling at the track over the last couple of weeks. All trials have been going really, really well. And from all the trainers I'm talking to, they're very happy with the way the track has been presented for this first meeting. Are you going with Rapido Rhapsody, Shorty, in the first?
I am, yes, indeed. Paul Stewart to return, of course, named the number 1 with Miata. Over 50 years of chasing, and with the opening of Cannington there on Saturday night would be quite fitting. If the trainer of Miata was the trainer of the first winner back, I think it will be the case with the very talented sprinter Rapido Rhapsody. I think a lot of these dogs, Pete and Jesse, and to all of our listeners, and I will say, with the return of chasing to Cannington, just be a little cautious the first fortnight back. It's going to take a little while to get a feel for what dogs are really going to appreciate the Cannington circuit, any little nuances with the track reopening and what it looks like and how they get around. So just be a little wary. But a lot of dogs that haven't necessarily loved the short corner start over the 488 where there's no room to wind up and muster, I think will very much appreciate the opportunity to have this longer straight at Cannington over the 520. And I think a number of Paul Stewart's dogs really do fit that bill. So wouldn't be surprised at all to see him go on a bit of a run here. And I think it'll start with Rapido Rhapsody from 7 Riser. It's been very consistent in its career to date. 1 Biscotti Blast from the good draw and 8 Scramble Button. 2, 7, 1 and 8 for me in the first, Jesse.
Shazam, 2, 7, 1, 8 for me. I will say I did trial some greyhounds yesterday at Cannington. I took 6 down. 4 have seen the old version of the circuit and 2 hadn't. The 2 that didn't see it, they still railed really well, and the 4 that did really shocked me because they ran pretty much exactly the same times as what they would have on the old circuit. So it's not too much of a change for the greyhounds. So if you do have some form you like of greyhounds who have good Cannington form, don't be alarmed about this new circuit. I don't think there's too much that have changed for the actual greyhounds, and they all seem to be really railing well. So if you have a mad railer, that seems to be the way to go.
That's the report I've been getting from the trainers as well. I think they're surprised that the condition of the track that it's in is almost identical to when we left. Yeah. Which, could be good. But I agree with you. I'd be just stepping carefully over the first couple of weeks. But from all reports, there's not much difference.
It's strange because usually Cannington's a circuit that you need 2 or 3 runs to sort of really get your best out of your greyhounds. But I took 2 there on Thursday. I'd never seen the joint before of the old circuit, and they railed like greyhounds should. And so I have got too many queries about greyhounds who are first up at the circuit because obviously most of them have trialled, but it doesn't look like it's a difficult circuit to navigate as well.
Good.
So I've gone 2, 7, 1, 8 there with Rapido Rhapsody on top from number 7 in Riser for third 1 Biscotti Blast and 8 Scramble Button 2, 7, 1, 8.
You're a 2 on top Rapido Rhapsody as well for me. Biscotti Blast should be in front for a while, I think. Number 7 in Riser, 8 Scramble Button 2, 1, 7, 8. Race number 1. Let's go to race number 2 on Saturday night at Cannington, and this is over the 715 metres. Chloe Ant's the $1.75 favourite. A greyhound has been chasing very well down here at Mandurah and brings that form up to town, and I think she'll be the one to beat. So I'm going that way. 2 on top from number 1 Sunset Comanche. I think that he improves back at Cannington for third. Number 5 Miss Ronnie Mack and 4 Penny Magic, but I think it's a good Quinella. 2, 1, 5, 4.
Yeah, it's a Shazam again. 2, 1, 5, 4. 2 on top. Chloe Ant was hoping it'd be black odds, to be honest, but the reason on a night where I just wanted to sort of be a little wary of what was going to happen, 2 of my best bets are in staying races with dogs that I know are drawn where they like to be, handled the old circuit and have been going well in those staying races. So they're fit and strong and ready to roll. And Chloe Ant fits the bill. The last 6 months, you could argue she's been probably the most consistent stayer there over the 647 metres at Mandurah. She's done or 652. She's done a wonderful job there, and I think that she'll really appreciate back up to 715. She looks as strong as ever. From number 1, Sunset Comanche, just something not quite there with this dog at the moment. I've got such a big opinion of Sunset Comanche, and it hasn't quite been racing to its best. Maybe the return to Cannington will spark the dog up. If it does, then no surprise. 5, Miss Ronnie Mack, very capable in that front-running role, and 4, Penny Magic. 2, 1, 5, 4.
I'll go 1, 5, 4 and 2 with 1 Sunset Comanche on top. I think the return to Cannington's key here. I think he's just gone a little bit stale at Mandurah, comes up with a good draw here, and from all reports, I think we'll go really well here. From number 5 in Miss Ronnie Mack, brings some solid northern form, especially over the 721. She's virtually unbeatable there. For third, Penny Magic, and for fourth, I'll throw in 2 Chloe Ant. 1, 5, 4, 2, race 2.
I'd love to have a side wager with you that Chloe Ant finishes in the top 2.
Maybe that could be done, Pete.
Well, I can't because I've got a bad record in here. Gee whiz. I'd be shocked. I will fall out of the commentary box if Chloe Ant doesn't finish in the top 2. tomorrow night. But anyway, just saying, if you see someone fall out and they call an ambulance, the medics,
we'll have to come and take over the meeting.
Yeah, make sure you're on course. Let's go to race number 3, the 50 years of racing. Gary Wilson. Congratulations to Gary Wilson being named the personality of the 50 years. There was no one else that was going to win that, and he is an absolute star. Great to see him as well. And it actually reminded me, and we've been through a bit of a tough time at Tab Radio in regards to, people talking about vision and so forth, and someone that's 90% blind that can't see a TV. Some people are driving around their cars so can't see a TV. The importance of Tab Radio, and it just hit home again there on Sunday night.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're 100% right. This was a one human race. There was only one man that was ever going to win that award, and God love him. What a wonderful man he's been for this sport and just in general. And he makes everybody that meets him better for the experience, GK. He's such a great, humble human being. And talk about making the most of whatever you're dealt, whatever hand you are dealt in life, just making it work for you and continuing to kick goals. And just one of the most loved people in WA. And so good to see that recognition, and you could see how much it meant to him. It was really special, Pete. Love the way that you chatted to GK and wheeled out the harmonica, albeit back to front. He did give you a little clip on the way through with the harmonica there, but geez, I tell you what, he's a fine human, and that was a really special moment on the night. Well, GK, one thing I can tell you, and you would have picked up on it on the way through, is that in this race there's a runner that is beautifully suited because it loves to use plenty of the track, and that is number 7, Page One News. This dog's actually been doing a little bit of travelling of late with Cody Charles. Often I like these dogs when they come back from over interstate trips. It tends to be the making of them a lot of the time, and we've seen that because it returned and ran 29.61 there at Northam, and I like this dog when it draws with room to zoom out wide on the track. So going with number 7, Page One News. From number 1, Maximum Kuna for the Chili Man. Saw him out at Ascot last Saturday. He's been in a bit of form too. 2 Girls Like You, and then didn't have much between 8 Aston Bollinger and 5 Torino. 7-1-2-8.
I'll go 7-2-8-1 with 7 Page One News on top. I thought it was really good at Northam last start, and the run at Ipswich 30-46 doesn't sound flash, but that is a really hot gallop there at Ipswich. For 3rd, number 8 Aston Bollinger, and for 4th I'll throw in 1 Maximum Kuna. 7-2-8-1. Race number 3.
You'd expect the Chili Man to have a big night on Saturday night. He's drawn well with some of his runners, Shorty, so I'd be expecting his team to be going very well. I like Aston Bollinger. I know that she's first up here at Cannington, but she has reminded me of a greyhound down at Mandurah that would be well suited to this track. So 8 on top, Aston Bollinger. From the kennel mate, number 7, Page One News. 1 Maximum Kuna, 2 Girls Like You, 8-7-1-2 in race number 3. Race number 4, congratulations to Linda Britton, the 50 years, the leading trainer, the best trainer of the last 50 years, and well-deserved 16 premierships. I think you'd be difficult to be able to topple her there. The favourite is Bezecchi, currently at $2.20, and while this greyhound is favourite, $2.25 into $2.20, and Uncle Tommy's gone $2.35 out to $2.70, I'm thinking Uncle Tommy's the way to go. 5 from box number 1. I know we haven't seen him since October. Steve Withers wouldn't be putting him around if he wasn't close to right, and I think he can sneak this race. So 1 Uncle Tommy on top. From number 8, Bezecchi for 2nd, who returns to the track for Paul Stewart. Number 7 in Wise Barra, and 2 Custard Manelli, who was a really good win last start. 1-8-7-2.
Yeah, I'm similar. I'll just flip the top 2 numbers around. I think it looks a great Quinella, Bezecchi and Uncle Tommy. I was taken by Bezecchi. Obviously, didn't quite pan out. But I'm almost certain that change and redraw for that $1 million chase box draw really did cost this dog dearly. The 2 lead-up runs, 29.12 in particular, was just ridiculous. And then 29.74 was excellent. And had it drawn inside instead of box 8 in that final, things could have been very different. It wasn't beaten all that far behind Blue Camaro, as it turned out. And, I think the dog's really got huge upside. A winner 10 of 18 with 5 placings. Last start at the Meadows, it was just flat out really, really flat. So the dog's a lot better than that. I think Bezecchi with room here can absolutely be right there rattling late. Uncle Tommy's going to be up on speed and very hard to run down. I've got not much separating them in the finish. I think this is the highlight sort of performance and race of the night is going to be well worth tuning into. 7:45 on Saturday night. Not much between the 8 and 1. And then 7, 2 and 4. 7 Wise Barra, 2 Customanelli, 4 Shy Emoji, all going really well. But I think 1 and 8 Quinella looks one of the lock bets of the night, Jesse.
I'll go 8-1-6-4 with 8 Bezecchi on top. If he gets close to the front, you'd think he'd be at least breaking a track record. From number 1, Uncle Tommy. For third, 6 Starlight Panama. And for fourth, the 4 Shy Emoji. 8-1-6-4, race 4.
Race number 5, the 50 years of racing. The Sandy's my mum, as you mentioned, Shorty. She was voted the number 1 sprinter of the last 50 years. The favourite Burglemere at $2.90. I'm going with Burglemere. Greyhound to be able to bounce back into the winners list. Did have a very good record, Cannington, when we last raced here. Number 5, Sunset Mirage, was a nice win last start. 7, Surges Banner, a greyhound who should be suited to this track as well. Has run some nice races, both at Mandurah and Northam since coming across. And happy birthday to Cosy D'Agostino, who's celebrating his birthday today. And Sunset Serengeti for 4th. So 4, 5, 7, 8, Shorty.
4, 5, 7, 8 for Pete. Happy birthday to you, Cozzy. Hope you have a ripper weekend, mate, and celebrate with a couple of coldies with your beautiful family tonight. Gee, this is a good race. Another with good talent. I'm going to spec the newcomer Aston Costello for Cody Charles here. I do like this dog, particularly some of its performances over middle distance trips have been really good. From box number 2, if it can just sort of posse up with them, it's going to be really strong to the line. I think Cody, if this dog's here for a while, he's going to have a lot of fun with it. I think it's going to be very well suited to WA conditions. It'll step up and run really good 600-metre races as well. Very versatile dog. It's got a great career record, and I think it can just about win at a good each-way price first up here in WA on Saturday night. So I'll go with number 2, Aston Costello. From number 4, Burglemere for Jamie. Look, this dog's going well, and no surprise at all to see it run particularly well here. I understand why it is at the head of the market. Then number 7, Surges Banner, is another greyhound with plenty of ability. Cozzy, he's had some good recruits in recent times to his kennels. 29.58 there at Northam last time out tells us exactly what this dog's capable of. And I'll round it out with greyhound number 8, Sunset Serengeti. 2, 4, 7, 8. Race number 5, Pete.
I'll go 4-1-7-8 with 4 Burglemere on top. His Northern form is fantastic. Mandurah form, not so much, but he's a better Cannington dog than over the 2 turns of what he is at Mandurah on the 1-turn track. For second, 1 Bagnara, I thought could run a cheeky race from box number 1. For third, 7 Surges Banner, and for fourth, 8 Sunset Serengeti. 4-1-7-8, race 5.
Race number 6 is our first race over the 381 metres, so a distance change here. The boxes have been straightened. It'll be very interesting to see how the greyhounds do handle the new boxes, or the positioning of them at least, over the 381 metres. No market up with Tab Touch. I found this a really tough race to try and work out, so I'll let you go first, Jesse.
Jesse, you've been there and trialled dogs, so now
yes.
when you put your, and you will have seen it to the eye,
yes,
compared to where it used to be an advantage to be in the very middle, so we kind of were comfortable with the fact that if you drew sort of 3, 4, 5 before, you were really quite well placed in the old 380-metre boxes. Now the new configuration, are you thinking that there will be a change potentially and that
yes.
all boxes you like? So you're thinking that it will even right up now the way that it's now positioned?
No, so usually when we take a greyhound to, say, Mandurah over the 400 metres, you'd put it out of box 2 or box 3. Don't really want it from box 1 because it's just going to crash across in a race. So, but at Cannington, the old Cannington, you'd put them in 5 or 6 so they wouldn't sort of crash across either. But now you can well and truly troll them out of box 2 and 3, and they've got to run in a straight line, whereas before they had to negotiate the bend before the
almost
bend.
duck out if
Yes.
you had the inside.
It's
I think
strange.
box 1 or 2 is going to be a huge advantage.
Now, you think now that'll straighten right
Massive.
up and 1 and 2 will
Massive
really go
advantage.
back
It
to
wasn't
being the big...
before.
No.
And if you've drawn 7 or 8, you're running further than what you are from the inside. Massive advantage 1 and 2 now.
And that's worth noting. Like, I mean, we're always trying to give listeners that take the time to tune in an edge and an opportunity to find out. And this is probably before it gets to the mainstream on Saturday night. If you're tuning in, take that on board. Inside draws are potentially very advantageous, whereas in the past you had to almost have a little right turn.
Sometimes you wouldn't mind a greyhound from box number 8 if you knew it was a quick beginner over the 380, because the inside division, well, they can't go out, really.
They often found themselves getting closed over.
Jammed up on the fence and you could scoot around. But that might not be the case, but we don't know. We haven't seen races with 8 dogs yet at Cannington over the 381 now, but we'll see on Saturday. I've gone 2, 8, 6 and 1 with 2 Shiny Dancer on top. I thought brought some really solid northern forms, usually quick out early, and that's the place you want to be. From number 8, Cecil Keeping returns, comes to WA with some interesting form over further trips. For third, 6, Weave the Ring with some solid Mandurah form, and for fourth, 1, Flash Code. 2, 8, 6, 1, race 6.
I've gone 6, 2, 1 and 8 here. Number 6 on top in Weave the Ring for Tim Gummo. Nice effort to win 4 starts ago. This is not a strong lineup. 2, Shiny Dancer, always respecting Joe Daly runners. 1, Flash Code will put this inside draw to the test in the first race. And number 8, Cecil Keeping, 6, 2, 1, 8.
I'll go 6 as well. Went 22.57 at Mandurah, recently winning a novice down there. The only greyhound that's won 2 in the race, so 6, 2, 5 and 1, but a tough watch. I think it'll be race number 6 to race number 7. And well done to David Simonetti as well. Outstanding effort to put together the 50-year celebration last Sunday night. A lot of work going into that, and he should be applauded. 601 metres, so a new distance for the 600 metres as well. Sage to Neil, the $1.34 favourite. A greyhound that has raced over this distance but doesn't show in the book because of the fact that it's changed 1 metre. She should be hard to beat, although she's short enough for me, Shorty.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wasn't expecting anything near this quote. I thought it would be sort of at least 170, 180. So I've got it in my best bets, but I'll be blunt. That's not appealing, 134. It's still the dog to beat, but yeah, happy enough to probably watch on at that price. From number 4, 90 Mile Rose, who's very capable. It can run some slick times, and if Sage Daniil doesn't quite get it right at the start and Mind Reader closes it off, then 90 Mile Rose would come into it pretty quickly. Number 2, Mind Reader, like the way the dog's going. It was another really good run at a big price last start off the inside draw. It likes inside alleys. And 8, Girl Hill, 1, 4, 2 and 8.
I'll go 1, 4, 2, 8 as well, with 1, Sage Daniil on top. From 4, 90 Mile Rose. If you look to Sage Daniil's last run, 90 Mile Rose ran it to 3/4 of a length. Yes, there's 651 metres shorter. But she's a big factor here, 90 Mile Rose. For third, 2, Mind Reader. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Girl Hill. Had some really good form over this trip earlier in the year. 1, 4, 2 and 8, race 7.
As I mentioned earlier on, the Chile man, Michael Johnson, he could have a big night on Saturday night. I'm going 1, 4, 8 and 2. I think she's too short, Sage Daniil. And I think the track will certainly suit 90 Mile Rose. 1, 4, 8, 2 in race number 7. Race number 8, there's fireworks at 10:30 on Saturday night. If you're going to hang around, I know Jesse's going to be there with his fiancée and a rug on the grass area to watch.
Picnic blanket.
Yeah, picnic blanket, champagne.
No outside alcohol, Pete.
No, you can buy it from the Box One restaurant. Rapido Jedi is the favourite at $1.85 and does look very, very hard to beat here. A greyhound who is going to be first up at the track, like many of these are. Greyhound has been racing well at Mandurah and Northam, and I think that he's the way to go. 6 from number 8, Soul Survivor. Good second last start behind Kisses for Ruby. Number 1, Night Moon, and 5, Starlight Ariel. 6, 8, 1, 5 in race number 8. Shorty?
6, 8, 1 and 5 for Pete. I've gone 6 on top, made it a special. This is one of those dogs we touched on earlier that is going to be suited to the longer run-in over the 520 metres back to Cannington. Rapido Jedi gets that room to use some early acceleration and muster, put itself into a spot, and from there I think it'll be too classy for these. From number 1, Night Moon, likes an inside draw. Recent form at Northam's been good. Number 5 in Starlight Ariel, I think looks a great roving banker in this play. Tip my hat to Michael Hine. He's done an excellent job with this dog through the Northam season. It found itself right up there in the top grade over the last probably 6 weeks of the season and just kept hitting the frame against the real top-line sprinters. So, happy to be with this dog back to Cannington. Great roving banker and place play. And then not much between 8, Soul Survivor, and 3, Rhythmic Moment. 6, 1, 5 and 8.
I'll go 6, 1, 8 and 5 with 6, Rapido Jedi on top. From 1, Night Moon, like you boys said, its form at Northam's been very good with that 29.58 win 4 back. For third, number 8 in Soul Survivor, and for fourth, the 5, Starlight Ariel. 6, 1, 8 and 5, race 8.
Race 9, King Cooner, $1.55 favourite. A greyhound who won 3 starts ago and a novice over the 488 metres. and I'll be tipping him on top, number 6, from number 8, which is Soul Jacker, a greyhound who's also well suited over the trip. Number 1, Speed Lee, and 4, Primotonic. 6, 8, 1 and 4. I'll go in race number 9.
Pretty similar here. 6 on top, King Kuna for the Chili Man. 8, Soul Jacker for Kirsty Moore. 4, Primotonic, and the Red Rugs. Speed Lee for Mickey Ryland. 6, 8, 4, 1.
I'm going to throw Speed Lee here out. Comes into box number 1. 5 back, went 27.38 at Mandurah, and every bit suggests to me that she will run the trip out, no issues. From 8, Soul Jacker, 2, Quicklands, and 4, Primotonic. 1, 8, 2, 4, race 9.
To race number 10, over the 381 metres for fuller fitness, and no market up just at the moment. Jesse, which way are you going?
I'm with 2, Send It Guy to make it 4 in a row. His last 3 have been outstanding at Mandurah in 22.32, 22.48 and 22.41. From 4, Aston Nero, 5, What a Ripper, and 8, Phyllis Parker. 2, 4, 5, 8, race 10.
Yeah, look, with Sates and Neil coming up so short, I'm sort of tempted to probably just pop the old liquid paper over the top of that and replace it with number 2, Send It Kai here as my third sort of special. I would expect it to be much better odds than what Sades to Neil is, and on recent form it should be really hard to beat. So I'll go with number 2 and make it one of the better bets.
We're up to race number 10 on the program, and you were going through your thoughts, Shorty.
I was indeed, Pete, and number 2 on top, Send It Kai, in-form sprinter, looking to make it 4 on the trot. From number 5, What a Ripper, right down in grades now, will show up soon. 6, Red Can Kings in a rich vein of form for Eric Campana, and then I didn't have much between 4, Aston Nero, and 7, Miss Valentine. 2, 5, 6, 4.
2, 4, 5 and 6, so almost the same way in race number 10. And 2, race number 11 on the program over the 601 metres to wrap up our first card at Cannington. Sky Manelli's the $1.75 favourite ahead of Molotov Boy at $2.10. I'm going with number 6, Sky Manelli. A greyhound will be well served in a race like this for Paul Kelsis. For second, number 4, Molotov Boy. 2, Pingelly Prince, and Saganaki Kid I'll put in for fourth. 6, 4, 2 and 1.
6, 4, 2 and 1 for Pete. I'll flip it and go 4, 6, 2 and 1. Not much between Molotov Boy and Sky Manelli, and I'm not completely ruling out Pingelly Prince, who was a good winner last time out. The other 2 dogs will be really strong late. Just we'll find out more as to the stamina of Pingelly Prince in this race, but I thought they looked the big 3 here, 4, 6, 2 and 1.
Yeah, I'll go 4, 6, 2, 1. If I had a market, I'd probably tip Molotov Boy as a better bet on the card. I just can't see him losing here. Leads for fun over the 652, doesn't run it out. Sky Manelli is a genuine 700-metre bitch and really struggles to get dogs in the last little bit over the 600, just needs further. So I'll go with Molotov Boy from Sky Manelli. For third, 2, Pingelly Prince, and for fourth, 1, Saganaki Kid. 4, 6, 2 and 1. Best bets on the card. Race 4, number 8, Bezecchi. Race 6, number 2, Shiny Dancer. And race 9, number 1, Speedley. For a quaddie, we'll go 1, 4, 8 the first leg, 2 and 6 the second leg, 1 and 4 the third leg, and the final leg 1 and 6. And hopefully, like last week, we got the quaddie and the 3 best bets on Saturday, Shorty.
Hot work from you, Jesse. Very nice indeed. Looking for the old rinse and repeat job there. For me, better bets on the card. Race 2, number 2, Chloe Ant. Race 7, number 1, Sades to Neil. Race 8, number 6, Rapido Jedi. Look, with Sades to Neil being so short, you could almost roll race 10, number 2, Send It Kai in its place, given that it's come up as short as it has. From a quaddie perspective, a first leg there on Saturday night. We'll go with numbers 2, 4, 7 and 8 in the second leg. Again, very challenging, 1, 2, 6 and 8. You could make a case for almost taking the field in that leg. In the third leg, just 1 and 4, Sades to Neil and 90 Mile Rose. And then in the final leg, just operating here with number 6, 1 out, Rapido Jedi. So 2, 4, 7, 8, 1, 2, 6, 8, 1, 4 and 6.
Looking forward to the return to chasing at Cannington on Saturday night. Thanks, Shorty, and also thanks, Jesse, for joining us this morning.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.